What is up, y'all? It's your boy, the Nigga doing another video, and in this video, we're going to be talking about the Superstar Shakeup, the draft. And for those that don't know, we're going to be moving, like, SmackDown Superstars to Raw Superstars to SmackDown, basically shake things up as the name, like, entails and whatever, right? And we'll have the occasional NXT call-up here and there. With that said, if you don't know how these work out, basically SmackDown is the smaller show, and Raw is a 3-hour show, so they have the bigger roster and whatever. So don't be surprised if, basically SmackDown kind of gets the shaft here in my picks or whatever, and Raw gets the bigger roster, because that's basically how it turns up anyway. Now, with that said, the way I'm choosing these is not necessarily what I want, but kind of how I see WWE like doing it themselves or whatever. Because there's a couple here I don't want to move, but I see WWE doing it anyway, especially one in particular. With that said, let's get started, right? First things first, we're going to start off with the Lone Wolf, Baron Corbin. He has a look that Vince McMahon likes and whatever, so I see him moving over to Raw for that particular reason. Plus, on SmackDown Live, he really hasn't done anything. He's won the Under the Giant, Battle Royal and whatever, but they didn't do anything with that. He won the Money in the Bank, but, he failed at that. So, only thing he really done on SmackDown Live was won the U.S. title, and he only had that for, like, a short period of time, to my knowledge. Like, I really don't remember. I don't remember his, like, title reign. Like, that's how short it was to me. Correct me in the comments down below if I'm wrong about that. But, yeah, I see them moving him over to Raw and actually doing something with him. Next, we have the first ever draft pick over on SmackDown Live, plus the first ever SmackDown Live Women's Champion, Becky Lynch. Like I said, she was the first ever SmackDown Live Women's Champion and whatever, but after that, she got lost in the shuffle and whatever. So why not move her over to Raw and whatever? She is 1/4 of the 4 horsewomen, along with, Sasha Banks, Charlotte, and Bayley, and basically rejuvenate her career and whatever, and spice things up over on the Raw side of things, on the women's division and whatever, because the Raw women's division has gotten kind of stale and whatever, even though Nia Jax is the new Raw women's champion, whatever, but it's not as good as the SmackDown Live division, women's division and whatnot. So spice things up with putting Becky over there. And I actually see them doing that. But next we have someone that I don't want to leave SmackDown Live and whatever. He's basically the face of, SmackDown Live and whatever. And no, I'm not talking about AJ Styles and whatnot. He's basically the yes man. If you don't know who I'm talking about by now, I'm talking about Daniel Bryan. And yes, I do see them moving him over to Monday Night Raw, as much as it pains me and whatever, because Monday Night Raw tends to have their top guys and whatever, and Daniel Bryan is a top guy. Dare I say he's basically the face of the company and whatever, because everybody loves him and whatnot. So that being said, I see Daniel Bryan going to Monday Night Raw. Next we have a guy who basically needs to rejuvenate his career too and whatever. I'm going to say that a lot in this and whatnot, because a lot of people, if they don't move, they're going to get released and whatever. And this person just recently signed another contract, that being Dolph Ziggler. And yeah, he basically re-signed for nothing if he stays on SmackDown Live. So I see him going to Raw and actually doing something there, because on SmackDown he's not doing anything and whatnot. And I kind of think that the WWE itself sees that. So move him over to Raw and actually do something with him. Next, we have a tag team moving, and that is going to be, I guess, in a sense, SmackDown Live's best tag team, because they done defeated everyone on the roster except for the Bludgeon Brothers, who recently defeated them, and that being Jimmy and Jey Uso, the Usos. So I see them moving over to Raw and basically doing the same thing over there, ruling over the tag team division over on the Raw side of things. So yeah, look for the Usos to move over to Raw. Next we have a guy that's kind of been lost in the shuffle and whatever. If he doesn't move over to Raw, he's gonna get released because he's been MIA for the longest and whatever. It, due to personal issues, and plus his wife recently had a baby, that being Mike Kanellis, along with his wife Maria Kanellis and whatever. But she's probably not gonna show up anytime soon. But I say move him over to Raw and whatever, and basically rejuvenate his career too. And he was a star in the Indies and whatever, kind of flopped here and whatever. So if like I said, if they don't move him to Raw, he's gonna get released, no doubt about it. It's one or the other. So look for Mike Kanellis to move to the Raw side of things, and you kind of need a jobber on Raw, So that's the thing. Next we have another guy that's kind of in the same boat as Baron Corbin, whatever. He's won the Honor Giant Battle Royal and whatever, but they didn't do anything with him after that and whatever. He's a big guy, so again, Vince McMahon likes those kind of guys. And they basically turned him heel, turned him into a bad guy, but didn't do anything with that. We didn't get a payoff. Who am I talking about? Mojo Rawley, Mr. Hype himself. So his heel turn was kind of pointless and whatever. So move him over to Raw and basically have him do something major over there. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. He's the type of guy Vince likes. Bam, Raw. Next we have another female who's gotten lost in the shuffle and whatever. That being Natalya. She's been in the WWE for years. I don't see her leaving. So move her to Raw. And next we have another guy that's kind of gotten lost in the shuffle and whatever. He's over with the fans or whatever. Fans love him. They chant for him even if he's not in a match and whatever. They keep saying 10, 10, 10, 10. That being the perfect 10, Ty Dillinger and whatever. On SmackDown Live, he's basically been lost in the shuffle since he's gotten there. You know what I'm saying? Like, he hasn't done anything since he's gotten there. So, move him to Raw, have him do something. Hell, put him in the Cruiserweight division, because, Raw basically owns the Cruiserweight division in a way. So, put him on Raw, put him on 205 Live, boom. You rejuvenate his career too. And finally, for, moving over from SmackDown to Raw, you have breaking up the New Day, you have Xavier Woods. And just like I said for Ty Dillinger, put him on Raw, put him in the Cruiserweight division, boom. Perfect. And, you leave Big E and Kofi Kingston over on, SmackDown to fend for themselves. Maybe even break them up over on the SmackDown side of things. But yeah, that's all the guys that I would move from SmackDown to Raw. So that's the thing. Next, we're going to have who I would move from Raw to SmackDown. First things first, I would move Asuka, because she's pretty much part of SmackDown already anyway. She faced Charlotte at WrestleMania for the SmackDown Live Women's title and whatever, which she lost. But, why not just do the whole thing, just move her over on, SmackDown, whatever. And, basically further that, rivalry and whatever. Have her get payback on Charlotte eventually. Maybe even turn her heel and whatever. Try to get payback for that loss and whatever. So that's the thing. Next we have Bayley. Bayley basically hasn't done anything on Raw, whatever, other than winning the Raw Women's title once and whatever. But, just like everybody else on this list, gotten lost in the shuffle and whatever. And yeah, put Bayley on SmackDown. They'll probably treat her better on SmackDown and whatever. And, it seems like WWE and Vince really doesn't care about Bayley and whatever. So move her to SmackDown, where, they had the people they don't really care about, not the top stars and whatever. And they had Bayley shine there. Next we have Elias. Walk with Elias and whatnot. Elias basically is a meme right now. All he does is does his segments and whatever. Really doesn't do anything. So move him over to SmackDown and actually do something with him, because he's way over on the main roster and whatever. He's actually doing better on the main roster than he did in NXT, and that's rare and whatever. So have him shine over on Raw, because I know Vince and them see it and whatever. So they're gonna want to see him shine eventually. But you have too many stars over on Raw, so have him shine over on SmackDown. Same thing with this next guy that I'm going to say, and y'all going to be surprised about this, but the next guy I think is going to be like traded to SmackDown is Braun Strowman. He's a major star over on Raw, but you know, he's kind of lost in the shuffle because you have Brock, you have Roman, you have so many stars over there that, you know, they're trying to cater to, and they're not really catering to Braun or whatever, which in my honest opinion, Braun should be the guy and not Roman Reigns, you know what I mean? You know, Braun is, he's it, you know what I mean? He has the look that Vince likes, he's talented in the ring, he has charisma and whatever, and he's over with the fans actually like him. But, you know, Vince wants Roman, so in order to have Braun shine, you know what I mean, because you don't want to lose Braun or whatever, move him over to SmackDown and have him shine there. You know, eventually have him feud with the current champion right now, AJ Styles, and give Braun the WWE Championship. Boom. Star power right there. And finally, we have another tag team moving from Raw to SmackDown, that being the Revival. Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder. Whatever. You know, since they've been on Monday Night Raw, whatever, they've done, you know, things here and there, but, you know, they haven't pushed them to the title and whatever. And they're a great tag team. They're a throwback. They kind of remind me of, like, the Andersons or whatever. Ole and Arn Anderson and whatever, you know. And they admit it themselves. So why not put them on, you know, the better tag team division, which is, you know, the SmackDown Live tag team division, and, you know, have him shine there and whatever, because I know Vince likes that type of tag team and whatever, because it kind of old school and whatever, so have him shine over on SmackDown. So yeah, that's the thing. But yeah, those are my picks or whatever from Raw to SmackDown, SmackDown to Raw. Now we're going to be talking about my NXT call-ups and whatever, right? I'm going to start off with who I think is going to go from NXT to, you know, SmackDown Live, and I only have 2 call-ups, technically 1, right? We have the former NXT champion, Andred Cien Almas. He's going to go over to SmackDown, I see it, you know what I mean? He's talented and whatever, but, you know, he's not going to come alone. Of course he's going to come with Zelina Vega, his, you know, manager, as it will, whatever. And they're both talented as hell, so they're going to SmackDown Live and whatever. And over on the Raw side of things, getting called up from NXT, I see Sanity getting called up. You know, Eric Young, Alexander Wolf, Killian Dane, and Nikki Cross. You know, I see all of them getting called up. Not for the reason you would think, because there's rumors that something's supposed to be happening with them and whatever. I don't see that happening. If you really want my opinion on that, I'll do a video on that. But yeah, I see Sanity getting called up to Raw, but not for what you think. But yeah, y'all, you know what I mean? Those are my speculations on what's going to happen in Superstar Shakeup. Comment down below. Tell me, do you agree with any of this? Do you disagree with any of this? Comment down below and tell me what are your picks and whatever. And yeah, y'all, if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And until next time, y'all, peace.